Hey there. We're going to talk about a wine in the next box, and this is a library wine. And I happen to be standing in the very library that this wine came from. So we're at Curlew Cellars right now, and Curlew Cellars is a producer based in Seattle. We're in Sodo, which is south of downtown Seattle, and this is where the winery is. So all the grapes for these wines are brought straight over from Eastern Washington and turned into wine right here at Curlew Cellars. I have a personal relationship with these guys because I actually worked harvest here last year. So from about September all the way through late November of 2019, I worked harvest here. I would come in the morning and top off barrels and stir barrels as they were fermenting. When we brought fruit in, I would be here to sort fruit and help crush it and help turn it into wine. That's why when it came time to put a wine in the next box, I wanted to do something from Curlew, from Washington, and do something with a little bit of age on it. So this wine we're going to enjoy is the 2012 Walla Walla Valley Syrah from Curlew Cellars. Let's open it up. So for those of you who don't know about Curlew, it's a pretty small producer. Total, they're around 3,000 cases a year, which in the grand scheme of things for a winery is really not that much wine. A lot of wineries that are 5,000 to 10,000 cases a year are still considered small wineries. So anything sub 5,000 cases a year is still considered a pretty small winery. I've admired these guys since they started. They've been going strong for 10 years now. Really making special wines and wines that reflect what Washington fruit tastes like. And I'm looking for wineries who are hands-off in their approach, and wineries that aren't just trying to manipulate their product to make it taste a certain way. They're really trying to reflect the best of what these vineyards have to offer. And I find that Curlew does a really good job of expressing that. One way they do that is by using wild yeast only. So when wines are left out to ferment, you can either buy yeast from a catalog and have it arrive in a little bag and throw that right into the fermenter to kickstart your fermentation, or you can let it ferment naturally using the ambient yeasts that are in the air. And Curlew is the latter. Everything here is fermented with wild yeast. In addition, when it comes to making Syrah or Grenache, you can choose to destem or separate the grapes from the clusters. I'm actually standing next to a crusher destemmer here. You can't see it, but we're literally surrounded by winemaking equipment here. You can either separate those grapes from the clusters, or you can leave everything in. And when you leave those clusters in, you get all these complex, beautiful, savory and funky and green notes that come out of a Syrah. And that's why I love this wine, and I love the other wines that Curlew makes. So let's taste this together. First off, this is inky. It's a purple wine. Curlew makes really wonderful wines that are very balanced, but because we're growing these in a hot climate in Eastern Washington, where we're almost in a quasi-desert, there's a lot of sunlight and a lot of concentration of color that happens throughout the season. So definitely a purple wine for sure. And on the nose, it's really pretty. This is a wine that has a distinct floral character because of some of the hillside vineyards in Walla Walla that this comes from. Also, this wine's 2% Viognier. So those floral, kind of crushed violet and rose petal aromas come from the Viognier grape when you co-ferment it with Syrah. So that means that the Viognier and the Syrah were fermenting at the same time in the same tank. A little bit of white grapes added in can sometimes really boost the aromatics of Syrah, and also help brighten and deepen the color. So beyond that red and black fruit, you also have this savory quality. It's black pepper, it's green olive. Let's get this one on the palate. This is a powerful wine. Honestly, right as I was about to take a sip, I got a sense of black licorice too. This has that black fruited, like blackberry and black licorice quality to it. On the palate, love this wine with 8 years of age on it. It's creamy, it's silky, The tannins are really soft, and they're kind of starting to round out and fall off in a good way, like not in an empty way, but the tannins are hitting your tongue and they're coating your palate, and then they're seamlessly falling off and just providing a really nice, clean drinking experience. I love this wine for all its savory, peppery notes, curing spice and rosemary, and the funk that Syrah provides is really integral to what this grape is and what it tastes like. So to me, Washington Syrah is unique because Washington Syrah is one of the grapes that you can make here and not have it taste like anything else in the world. It tastes like Washington Syrah. It's a combination of this desert sagebrush and this deep, plummy black and blueberry fruit and the savory quality that when you make it whole cluster like Curlew does, you really get that character coming out in a pronounced way. I love being able to put a wine with 8 years of age in the box, red wine that's really reaching its apogee and really just starting to express what it can do. I hope you enjoy this Curlew. I hope you throw something delicious on the grill with it. It really responds well, a wine like this, to food that's cooked over live fire. That smokiness and that pepperiness really come through. So hope you enjoy it. Ryan Crane, the winemaker, really was awesome in providing us a space to get our relief boxes out, a space to get this next release combined. As we grow, we're kind of starting to spread out and need more room. And so Ryan's been really awesome and really generous with that. Also, the truck you've seen driving around Seattle is Ryan Crane's truck. So he's let Crunchy Red Fruit use his truck to go to deliveries. So really grateful for these guys and the great wines they make and the ability to serve a wine with a little bit of library age on it. So I hope you enjoy this Kerloo 2012 Syrah. Cheers.